Commander Shepard, something you need to talk about?
What about the extra help we picked up along the way?
The Krogan and Turians have obviously been a big help. Urdnot Rex running the show is a bonus for us. And that female Krogan you rescued is rallying more support from the other clans. I'm glad you disabled that mom in Tuchanka. We could have lost a lot of Krogan support as it is. We picked up some Turian troops.
Good to hear. How about the Solarians?
Interesting wrinkle. We've been getting back channel commitments from the strike teams within STG. They're promising to back us.
Even after I cured the genophage?
Our intel suggests there are cracks developing between the military and the politicians. These STG guys know the score. They're not going to jeopardize the entire Solarian Union just because some Delatras didn't get her way.
What about the Rachni?
I wouldn't have believed it, but the Rachni are helping us build the Crucible.
You're kidding.
Turns out they have a knack for weapons of mass destruction. In hindsight, I guess they'd know a thing or two about waging a galactic war.
No problems with them then?
Other than scaring the hell out of our engineers, no. Not a lot of small talk going on there.
What about Arya's mercenaries?
Arya T'Loak, there's someone I never thought we'd be in bed with. The blood pack will be useful, and violent. Mostly Vorcha, I hear. We'll put the Blue Suns to good use. Intel says Darner Vosk is bringing his men, and that they're gunning for a fight. The Eclipse are providing troops and mechs. When we find a Reaper soft spot, they'll help us hit it. Don't want to know how you got Arya's cooperation, but whatever you did, it was worth it.
Do you know how the other races are doing against the Reapers?
Believe it or not, the Turians and Krogan actually seem to be getting along. Urdnot Rex has deployed troops, and they're giving the Reapers a moment of pause. The Solarians are still hanging on to Surkesh, but the Reapers are starting to breathe down their necks too.
What about the Asari?
They have to be feeling the heat. The Reapers are moving fast with the obvious intent of taking Thessia. Interestingly, the Reapers are leaving Parnak alone. It's the Yogg homeworld.
We saw Yogg back on Surkesh. Didn't look too happy.
Well, if we lose this war, it might be them running the next cycle. It's easy to forget the Reapers don't destroy every species.
Just the ones who can threaten them. Any word on the Volus and Elcor?
The Turians and the Krogans sent forces to the Volus homeworld, Irun. It might not be enough, but at least they've got Reaper forces bogged down in a nasty ground war. As for Elcor, they're still in the fight, though our projections show the Reapers encroaching on their territory soon.
What happened to the Batarians?
Never stood a chance, hit by the Reapers straight out of the gate. And without any allies to call on, I think the Batarians are history.
Have we heard anything from the Quarians or Geth?
Something might be brewing near the Geth border, but our intel is sketchy. News is getting harder to come by as things get worse.
What's our state of readiness, Admiral?
I won't lie, Shepard. We're bogged down. Things aren't looking good in most sectors. We need to increase the tempo and chalk up some wins, otherwise this won't end well for the human race. Or any race.
Nothing more, sir.
Keep me posted. Hack it out.
vids of the Maw taking down the Reaper?
Man, I wish I could have been there.
I'm just glad the diplomats are off the ship. A Krogan and a Turian in the same room is a fight waiting to happen.
Commander, Admiral Hackett has requested your help with a Cerberus fighter base on Novaria. Look at that galaxy map. Do you know how many strategy games are built from that interface?
You play strategy games?
A few. Most are too flashy, though. I prefer chess. I have a set made from rose quartz and hematite back home. I like the feel of something solid in my hands.
Well, now that I know your weakness, we might have to try a game.
It'd be more fun than playing Edie. Edie doesn't sweat.
You sweat playing chess?
Depends on how much fun we're having.
All right, my turn. What's the first order an Alliance commander gives at the start of combat?
I give up.
Correct.
All right, big guy. What do you call it when a Turian gets killed by a horrible spiky monster?
Friendly fire. Come on, that one goes back to Shang-Chi.
You gotta respect the classics.
How many humans does it take to activate a dormant mass relay?
602. 600 to vote on it, 1 to ask the Asari for technical help, and 1 to request a seat on the council afterward. How do you know when a Turian's out of ammo?
He switches to the stick up his ass as a backup weapon. Why does the Alliance hire pilots with brittle bone disease?
You're shitting me. The Turian military has one about me?
Oh, absolutely. I heard it myself from a private back on Palaven.
All right, why does the Alliance hire pilots with brittle bone disease?
So their Marines can beat someone in hand-to-hand drills.
Damn, you need to tell James that one. Hey, what's the hardest part about treating a Turian who took a rocket to one side of his face?
Figuring out which side took the rocket.
Never thought I'd see the Krogan and the Turians team up. Even the Reapers have to be a little nervous about pissing them off.
I'd say more than a little.
I'm sorry about Morden.
He was a good man.
Yeah, he was always running those tests. And one time he tagged me in the middle of the night to ask how many livers humans had. And this bump on my elbow? He said it was just a mild bone deformation, but I'm pretty sure he stuck a probe in there.
Glad it was just your elbow.
I always thought he was crazy. Useful, but crazy. Then he gives up his own life.
To save the Krogan. Doesn't do much to disprove the crazy theory, huh?
I guess not. But he was one of ours.
So now that we got the Krogan and the Turians, what now?
The Krogan help us turn the tide on Palaven. They can shoot at something useful for a change.
Dig till we hit daylight, huh? Works for me.
So how does it feel knowing Krogan will be singing songs about you until the end of time? I'd think it would be an honor.
To be honest, I did it so the Krogan would help your people.
And believe me, it won't be forgotten. Our fleets will be there for Earth. I'll make sure of it.
I know you will.
And let's hope Rex keeps running the show on Tuchanka. Maybe we should hire a food taster for him. Imagine the carnage if someone like that brother of his, Reeve, took over.
That could happen.
I know, it's a chance we have to take, but I have to say, if it wasn't my own world that needed the help, I might have taken that Solarian deal.
I could never bring myself to do that, no matter what I was offered.
I admire your restraint, Shepard. It's nice when we can save the galaxy without destroying another race along the way.
Let's hope our luck holds.
Commander?
Commander, Chief Engineer Adams would like to speak with you down in engineering.
I'm glad to see we have Garrus back. I wanted to help with his scars, but I think he actually likes them. Take care, Commander.
What are you up to now?
I'm uploading data on the destroyed Reaper to the Turians. They are investigating possible Reaper structural weakness. Our data says Reaper capital ships such as Sovereign are of unique design. However, smaller Reaper destroyers bear similarities.
That one was small?
Relatively, yes. Ground attack ships are only 160 meters in height. Sovereign was approximately 2 kilometers.
Well, keep talking to the Turians. If there's a chink in the Reaper's armor, we all need to know it.
Any sign of life?
The Reaper destroyed by the Thresher Maw appears to be completely inert, Doctor. We would need to send in teams to be sure.
Out of the question. Tell the Krogan to stay away.
Busy?
I have time if you'd like to talk. In fact, I could use the distraction.
What's on your mind?
How long it took the Reapers to eradicate the Protheans, and how long they'll need for us. It took them centuries to conquer the Protheans. We're not quite so widespread, but it would still take at least 100 years. It's selfish, but I keep thinking that if we fail... I'm only 109, Shepard. I could live to see the entire cycle come to an end.
Or you could keep fighting.
I know. It's just... difficult. Watching you get shot at out there. We finally have other leaders on our side, but none will take us as far as you can. Sometimes I wonder how you do it.
The Reapers would have been here years ago if I didn't.
I wish motivating everyone else had been as simple. At least the galaxy always had you.
Lucky galaxy.
I certainly think so. Let's talk later, Shepard.
Greetings, Commander.
EDI doesn't pilot the Normandy, she is the Normandy.
No, she's a passenger in the Normandy, just like us. The ship was a spacefaring vessel before EDI even existed.
Engineer Donnelly is correct. The Normandy SR-2 was completely spaceworthy prior to my installation.
See, EDI agrees with me.
EDI's mind and the Normandy are a whole entity now. You couldn't just move the processors in the AI core to another ship.
Engineer Adams is correct. Processes that contribute to my self-awareness are spread throughout the ship.
See? EDI agrees with me.
But unlike EDI, our brains couldn't have existed without our bodies.
That is a requisite from being organic. You have to look beyond that limited definition of life.
Joker pilots the Normandy. He doesn't take over Edie's body when he does that. When Edie controls the ship, she's piloting, just like Joker.
Edie doesn't pilot the Normandy, she is the Normandy.
No, she's a passenger in the Normandy, just like us. The ship was a spacefaring vessel before Edie even existed.
Engineer Donnelly is correct. The Normandy SR-2 was completely spaceworthy prior to my installation.
See, Edie agrees with me.
Edie's mind and the Normandy are a whole entity now. You couldn't just move the processors in the AI core to another ship.
Edie can direct the Normandy with her thoughts. She sees, hears, and feels through the ship's sensor arrays. The Normandy is her body.
I've seen Edie's body, and its curves are a fine sight better than the Normandy's hull.
So what do you think, Edie?
Are we more than our thoughts?
I'm done. Any more of this and my head's gonna explode.
Commander, remember the problem I mentioned? About a core overload possibly venting into the engineering compartment? Donnelly, Edie, and I have been brainstorming and comparing notes.
You see, the venting occurs when IES sinks are in a back cycle, at the same moment the main core is at peak draw, such as from sustained kinetic.
What Engineer Donnelly means to say is that we're confident we can make the system safer. We just need a GX-12 thermal pipe. Unfortunately, we're cut off from Alliance supply chains. Could you keep an eye out for one the next time you're on the Citadel, Commander? I've got the specs right here.
I'll look for one the next time we go to the Citadel.
Thanks, Commander.
Hey, Esteban, for your shuttle being so stealthy and all, you sure do get shot at a lot.
Well, the UT-47A stealth systems only internalize heat and high-band emissions. So while few sensors can pick us up, our cover is blown as soon as someone looks up.
Time for an upgrade.
Most scanners and tracking systems don't operate in mid-range frequencies. Sure, maybe we've been shot at, but we haven't been shot down.
Yet. Lucky for us, you're almost as good a pilot as you think you are.
Well, yeah. There's that, too.
Parts of Tachanka reminded me of the desert back home. The lizards and worms are bigger, but, you know, the sand and everything. You think that cure they dispersed could do anything to us? We're not going to start growing scales or anything, right? Maybe now that we have the Krogan on board, we can go back to fighting the Reapers. I was looking at the specs on that Reaper you took out on Tachanka. That was one of the small ones? Don't get me wrong, it's still dead, but damn. There was nothing small about it. Too bad about Tarquin. I was starting to like him. Hey.
Everything okay with the shuttle?
Just double-checking the inertia dampener coils. Can be twitchy in these UT-47s. But don't worry, this bird's been rock solid.
I always see you down here working your ass off. Ever take any downtime?
I get my sleep, Commander. Flying tired is nearly worse than flying drunk.
What about your waking hours? Any R&R?
I need to keep myself busy. Otherwise, well, too much time to think.
I appreciate your dedication. Good work, Lieutenant.
Thank you, Commander. You can count on me.
So before this war, you must have done something to relax.
Sure. I remember back when the Hawking was based out of Arcturus and I was just a fighter jock. There was this observation deck overlooking the main flight paths. You could watch every ship taxi in and out. When I was alone, I'd turn off the auditory emulators and just watch them drift by in silence.
You know, there are views like that on the Citadel. Next time we're there, you should take some shore leave. Clear your head.
I don't know. Maybe.
Take some time off on the Citadel, Steve. As a favor to me.
If you put it that way, how can I say no?
You can't.
This beats the hell out of reporting on the Milgram City Council.
I don't think I've heard of Milgram. Which planet is that again?
Beckenstein. It's right next door to the Citadel. I'm a colony kid. Commander, got a minute?
What do you want to know?
You've just implemented a cure for the genophage. Millions of Krogan will start fighting the Reapers. What do you say to people who think humanity is starting another Rachni War and Krogan rebellions?
It's easy to remember the worst of Krogan history, but you also need to remember the best.
Meaning?
The Krogan were heroes once, and they want to be heroes again. We're giving them that chance.
Are you aware that Clan Urdnot is already petitioning the Council for an embassy and rights to a colony world?
The Krogan are coming to the aid of a Council homeworld. That's more than a lot of species can say. I helped them get the genophage cure. Anything more is between the Council and the Krogan.
There it is, straight from Commander Shepard. Until tomorrow, this is Diana Allers. Good night and stay strong. Okay, I'll cut that together with the rest of the segment and send it to Command for approval. Commander,